Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager with the Phoenix Knights racing team. We're here. It's the final race of the season. We are 15 points clear of Scuderia Rossini. It's all to play for. Whatever happens in this race, we cannot lose to Scuderia Rossini by more than 14 points, otherwise it's goodbye championship. So I've been doing a bit of thinking. Potter's been doing a bit of thinking, shall we say. And he was so close to taking a certain route. It may prove to be the best route in the end, but we will never know. But that route was, out of our two drivers, currently Cruz is the better of the two. He's 4.5. He's not suffering. He is feeling blue, actually, but that's not. That's just a morale debuff. His stats haven't been affected. Whereas Surikov is currently addicted to video games, which is taking away from his focus, and his stats have decreased slightly as well with his. I dread to say at age 30, but old age. So Lissandro Cruz is the better driver. So Potter was very close to saying, you know what, the Drivers' Championship is not going to be won by either of them. This is all about the constructors. Give ourselves the best chance possible to get as many points as possible. And one way we could do that is by giving Lissandro Cruz literally every single best part, to give him the best chance of perhaps pulling off a win. Using super overtake mode in the qualifying, get on pole, hopefully get a semi-decent start, and with all the best parts equipped to his car, he might be able to hold off Lipponen. It's a risk because then Surikov will have a substandard car, and he's definitely not going to finish inside the top 6. He'll probably finish 6, maybe even be at the mercy of a Panther. So it is a risk, but it has some merits, because if we were to win, then no matter what Scuderia Rossini do, they would not be able to do it, because we pick up 25 points. The most they'd ever pick up was 33, and therefore even if Surikov crashed out, we'd still only be losing by 8 points. Doing the maths. Struggling big time. So yeah, so if we was to win the race, then we'd sew up the championship, and that is a possibility, but it's not a certainty. Alternatively, if we were to do that and he was to finish second and Lipponen was to win and Balcazar was to finish third, giving them 40 points, we would have 18, which means that we would need to get, because we can't lose by more than 14, can we? So we'd have to rely on Surikov picking up enough points to bridge that gap. Now, how many points do you get for a 5th place? You get it for a 6th place rather. 25, 18, 15, 12, 10. So we're looking at 8. So 8 and 18 is 26. 26 to 40 is 14 points. So you'd have to actually finish 5th. Which is a bit of a risk when he's got a car that doesn't have any parts that are the best out of our two cars overall. So it's a risky strategy, and putting all our eggs into one basket like that, I think, is probably not something we're going to do. Plus, to be fair to both drivers, we've given them equal equipment throughout the entirety of their time together. We'll just stick with what we're doing. So there's going to be none of that. Pit crew has been manually changed to make it as good as it possibly can. And when it comes to practice, we're going to practice until we get absolutely 3 excellence to maximise the setup. We're going to do everything in our power to ensure that we are in the best possible position for this race. So, for the final time, at least for this season, perhaps for the final time in the entire series, join me for qualifying to see what happens. Alright. This was my second attempt at the practice session, because the first time round I accidentally clicked on simulate, so I had to reload it. But here we go. 4th and 6th, We're not bothered about the times, we didn't really push, and we didn't max out our bonuses. The track is a long one, and therefore the bars don't go up very quickly. So we prioritised race trim and the race tyre rather than qualifying, as is usually the case. So qualifying might not be quite so good, but we're hoping that our pace in the race will make up for a poor slot on the grid. So for qualifying, it's going to be soft tyres and super overtake mode for Alessandro Cruz. So it's not actually as bad for him, because he always uses super overtake mode anyway in qualifying, but for Surikov he will suffer because he's only got 10% qualifying trim bonus. But what can you do? So for the final time this season, let's see where we will qualify. Come on, Cruz. Come on, son. Come on. He's gone purple. He's gone purple, and currently after the first set of hot laps, he is top of the tree. The second out laps have been done. The second hot laps. It's close between Lipponen and Cruz, and Cruz has managed to hold out by 0.02 of a second. Oh, it's close. It is close, close, close. But it's going to be tense. It's going to be tense. Oh, that's just made me think to myself now, if he's qualified on pole with the car that he's currently got, if we'd have given him all of the best parts and sacrificed Surikov's car here, I think Alessandro Cruz could win this race. If he's qualifying on pole without that race bonus, without that qualifying bonus, whatever it is, you know, I'm thinking that if we'd have given him the best parts, give him the 15% race trim, 15% soft tyre bonus, and he'd got off to a decent start off the line, I think he could keep Lipponen behind him. I'm worried that if Lipponen wins this race, Valcazar's right behind him, Surikov is struggling. Are we going to pick up enough points here? Lots of speculation going on. Of course, things pan out as they will in the race, and sometimes you're powerless to do anything about it. But, squeaky bum time. If I'm feeling it, if Potter's feeling it, God knows what the drivers are feeling. If there's ever a case for a double crash, now would be the case. Right, soft tyres and race trim. It's going to be a soft tyre race. There's an argument for using medium tyres just because of the heat here, but we'll go with soft. Setups and strategies. It's 3 5-lap stints. 5, 5 and 5. Soft tyres can easily do 5 laps. The fuel tanks can only let us do 6. So the issue is, what do we do with Surikov? Because what we could do with Cruz is we could go for... Well, I'm going to go 5-5-5 with him because it allows him to push on every stint. With Surikov, he's going to have to probably do a 4-lap stint to start with. Then he's going to have to go 5. And then 6 for the final stint, which means he can't push for his final stop. So it's not that's the detrimental strategy. The best strategy is to allow you to push is 5-5-5. So we're going to give Cruz the best opportunity with his strategy. And with Surikov, he's going to start with 4 laps of fuel, which should be good for his first stint. Might allow him to get off the line quickly, light fuel him, maybe make a place or 2 up and see what happens from there. But this is going to be it, folks. This is going to be it. As you saw with the setups, I don't know if you've seen, but we've got all excellence across the board. We're doing as much as we can with the setups for them. It's all down to the drivers now. Weight stripping, not overly aggressive, but fairly. Here goes nothing. So Alessandro Cruz puts it on pole. Could be an important pole. Who knows? He may be able to keep the cars behind him without the best parts. We might be selling him short here. You know, he was keeping him behind in Singapore. He's no slouch. He has stepped up to the plate this season and kept us in the mix when others, who shall remain nameless, have fallen by the wayside somewhat. Lipponen in second. He is 35 He's beginning to fall away now. He was almost 5-star. He's now down to 4 and a bit. I think he has got a negative trait at the moment, which may pass, but he's definitely slipping now. His age is creeping up on him. Ripe for the picking, perhaps. Balcazar is in 3rd, so Scuderia Rossini right up there. Stephenson, Navarro for Steinman, 4th and 5th. We've got Nikolai Sirikov in 6th, and then we have Rick de Graaf pulling out all the stops as is usually the case. Could he find himself in a car? An orange car next season? Maybe. Maybe not. Partanen in 8th, Makarova in 9th, and Parisi rounding out the top 10. I almost don't want to press the start button. I almost don't want to press it, but we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna be confident. Come on, Cruz is gonna get off to a blinding start, and he's just gonna put this race to bed. He does get off to a good start. Sirikov has got off to a bad one, it looks like, but just and look at the yes! Balcazar is screwed up. She's at the back of the pack. That could have just absolutely ruined it for Scuderia Rossini already. She's got a mountain to climb now as Surikov is up into 4th position. This is very much what we wanted to see. Oh gosh, yes. Great start. Great start for Cruz, keeping Lipponen behind him. Surikov is back into where he started. But it's Balcazar. She has absolutely screwed it up. The pressure's got to her. But we are not going to get overly excited. We know what happens when we do that. There's a long way to go. This is lap 1. There's plenty of time left for things to go wrong for either team. But as we cross the line at the end of the first lap, it's Phoenix Knights who lead the way. Right, we're going to play this completely and utterly by the book. He has to do 4 more laps. Let's have a look what everyone else is doing. They're pushing. We will maintain the same pushing, apart from the tyres will turn down, but we'll maintain the pushing on the engine. Both cars, same strategy. In fact, yeah. And look at that, Lipponen has slipped down into 3rd position as Navarro sails on by. That is even better news. Look at the bunch of cars all battling for 6th position there. Surikov, just get as many points as you can. Just get as many points as you can. Just don't crash. If you finish 6th, that'll do. So Lisandro Cruz. Oh, he's down into 7th. He's been overtaken. Parisi is up into 4th. That is the problem. Don't worry, Surikov. Just keep going. Just keep the car on the track. All our eggs are placely firmed in Cruz's basket here. There's nothing that you can do at this moment in time other than crash to make things go completely wrong for us. Right, we're going to just turn him down now to high. He is going to turn down to high for a lap, and then his next lap will be his in lap. We'll turn him up to overtake and attack. But for now, high. In fact, no, attack. Attack and high for for Surikov. His tyres are going to last easily for 2 more laps. They are going to overheat, but you know what? Let's just give him the push. Give him the push. Maybe get past a car or 2 on his next couple of laps. As Cruz is just cruising round. Navarro and Lipponen both have their engines turned up, but they will turn them down towards the back end of the stint. You can almost bet your bottom dollar they'll do that, and that's when we can turn ours up because we've left something in the tank and we can pull out a little bit of a gap. Yeah, they're already turning the tyres right down to neutral. Now down to conserve. It's fine. Everything is fine. Balcazar's up to 15th. Of course, she will make her way through the field, but fingers crossed she won't go too far up the field. Get stuck in traffic and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so as Cruz crosses the line, we'll keep him exactly as he is, as the other cars. Nice little gap forming. 5th position. So this is his in lap, so going full speed ahead for Surikov. He's going to come in, he's going to fill up, he's going to do a 5-lap stint, and we're going to risk it with a fast pit stop. You never know, he might leapfrog a couple of cars. But he's been given the full push order. Let's see if he can fly. Lisandro Cruz just managing this race. This is what he was doing in Singapore very, very well before all of a sudden he decided to drive into a tyre wall. But look at that. The gap is now 1.2. He's absolutely in complete and utter control. Commentator's curse, mind you. Right, where's Surikov? Is he going to get round in enough laps? Is he got enough fuel in the tank is what I mean. He's up into 4th position. Doing very, very well indeed. Just turn it down to medium just to make sure now. And in he comes for his stop. We'll watch this. And we can afford to turn the Cruz up. In fact, we'll bring him in whilst we remember. Don't want to take any chances. Full up for a 5-lap stint. And we'll risk a fast stop. Is there any need to risk a fast stop with him? Is there any need? He's got a comfortable gap. Is there any need to risk it? Do you know what? I don't think there is. We lose. You know what? We're going to play it cool. We're going to play it cool and balanced. No, not. We're going to. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm going to play it cool and balanced. I'm going to play it. He's got a gap. He has got a gap to the cars behind. So just play it cool. Put the hammer down for his in-lap. That should give him enough breathing room to just do a normal stop. Surikov, Surikov, Surikov. Did he get ahead? Oh, he's in the pits. He's in the pits. Will he get out ahead of the diamond? Oh, not quite. Not quite. No mistakes, though. It's good. It's good. It's good. Just keep pushing now. He's got a 2.5 second gap to Lipponen, you see, so there's no real need for us to go too risky on the pit stop. You know, a mistake refueling could cost us 3 or 4 seconds. It's not worth it. I know this, you know, so... It is only a 10% less chance, but you know we're playing the numbers game here. We're playing the numbers game. It's all about making sure that we do not do anything foolish. And running out of fuel might be foolish. Phew, very close. He comes into the pits. Let's watch it. No pressure, lads, but Potter's out watching you with his eagle eyes. Tyres have gone on, jacks have gone down, fuel has gone in, and we're out. Nice and smooth, no need for melodramas, no need for panic. Another 5-lap stint, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Look at this, Surikov is on the back of Lipponen here. Both our cars are potentially going to leap in front of the Scuderia Rossini. We would not have thought that. We know Cruz is on form, but Surikov as well. That is definitely something that would be worth celebrating. Not just the constructors, but the fact that we have comprehensively outperformed the Scuderia Rossinis on the track. Not relying on incidents or crashes to get the job done, but simply outpacing them. That would really be a great way to finish. We've got Navarro behind us, who appears to be pushing the engine. His tyres are kind of on neutral, but we've got the pace. We're just managing nicely. 3 more laps for Surikov. Everything is just being managed. If you look at the live championship standings, you can see that we are completely in control here. We just keep things as they are. We won't go too risky. Lipponen's looking like he's going to pass Navarro here, but we're not worried about that. We're not worried at all, because we still have track possession, and he's gone around the outside. I think Lipponen is on the charge. Lipponen has had enough. He is putting his foot down as we speak. Look at him. He's definitely taking it up a notch. The gap to us is less than a second now. We're not going to panic. Let him have his fast middle section of his stint. He'll turn his car down, he'll turn the engine down, he'll stop pushing the tyres eventually. He's fine. It's fine. He's just having a bit of a moment. Not a problem. Let him have his fun. Let him have his fun. Right, with Surikov now, we're going to turn up the crank up the heat, shall we say. Crank up the heat. He's got 2 more laps to do, but he's got plenty of fuel in the tank, so we can crank Crank the engine up. Crank the tyre pushing up. Tell him he's got free rein to go as fast as he possibly can for the next 2 laps. Just put your foot down, pedal to the metal, enjoy yourself. Don't worry. Engine 40%. Okay, that is a slight problem for both our cars. Nothing to panic about just yet. %. It's still got plenty of life, you see. Right, it's coming in for the pits. Final stop. 6 laps remaining after this, which means he can't push anyway on his final stop. So he won't go through his engine because he can't push it. He's not going to have the fuel to push it. So might as well let him enjoy himself now on overtake mode and see what he can do. We've got a nice gap back to the graph, so 4th place with Surikov is probably where he's going to finish, barring any catastrophes. As Cruz now, Lipponen's turned down, it looks like, his engine, so that's fine. 1.3 seconds is the gap. Going to give Cruz now the order to push because he's got plenty of life in the tyres and plenty of fuel in the tank. And look at Surikov, he is harassing Navarro. In fact, he is passing Navarro, given of course the full mashings. Right, I'm going to turn him down as he comes into the pits now, and this is his final stop. Everything going on fine. And, oh, it's so close. Look at this. It's nip and tuck. Come on. Just give him enough pushing to get past as early as possible. Right, here we go. Engine at 32%. Yeah, that could be a slight problem. Just got to watch that on the final stint. Right, pit. I'm actually going to risk this and actually only go with 4 laps of fuel. With 5 laps of fuel, which is just the right amount. I'm going to risk it with the fast pit stop this time, because we can't push him on his last stint, so we're going to have to make his stop as quick as possible. So put him on the right amount of fuel, not fueling him unnecessarily. It looks like Surikov has got ahead of somebody, has he? I don't know, he's talking nonsense at the moment, trying to confuse us. But in comes Cruz, in comes Lipponen. This is it, the battle for race victory is right here, and it's happening in the pits. Will it decide what happens? It's a very quick stop by Cruz, and we're just going to go push and normal for both cars. And I think, look at that, he's come out 4 seconds ahead of Lipponen. So he can just canter around to the finish. There's Surikov. He's still in 4th effectively. And that's good enough. Balcazar is in 5th. I think she may have to stop again though. But let's have a look at the standings here. Let's have a look at the standings. The standings mean nothing because we are not quite in our true positions because other people haven't pitted round us. The engines are looking a little bit grim though. We've got to keep an eye on those. We cannot afford... Wouldn't that be something if both our cars blew up? Wouldn't that be a way to bloody end things? Just keep an eye on them. In fact, with Surikov, we can turn him down. He's going to finish. He's going to finish 4th. There's no question of that. There's no point of risking it with him. It's just Cruz we've got to be careful of. I'm constantly monitoring that gap behind him to the Scuderia Rossini. He's cut it down from what, 4.5 seconds to 2.2. He is coming like a train, but we do know that they have a tendency to push through the early moments of their stint. He just vanished and then reappeared. But then they tend to turn their cars down towards the back end of their stints. So we'll just monitor that situation. Even if he was to win this race, it wouldn't be a catastrophe. You know, it's just about getting across the line at this point. That is exactly all it is about. It's just getting across that line. Surikov has got De Graaf behind him, slightly closing. We'll just have to monitor that situation. But as things stand, Cruz is in control. The suspension beginning to creak a little as well. The whole team are monitoring the computer screens in the pit wall, and there's some squeaky bums looking at the engine readout. We're going to have to turn it down to low. This is dangerous. It's 21%. 26. Tyre degradation. Lipponen has turned his tyres down, but his engine is turned up. But with 3 seconds, he's actually pulling away. Navarro's pitting for repairs. That puts Surikov up into 3rd position. That's an unscheduled stop for Navarro. That's a 3rd stop, I think. Balcazar's out of the points. This is looking good. Commentator's curse, of course. Do you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to curse it and see if commentator's curse works in our favour for a change. We are looking good. Barring any catastrophes, we're going to win the Constructors' title as things stand, and we're going to win it in style. Lipponen has got problems with his car. We're down to 18%. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Just bring it home. We've got the car engine turned down. Everything's looking fine for both cars. Just bring it home. It's the final lap of the race, the final lap of the season, the final lap of the championship, and Alessandro Cruz is cruising on round the Dubai circuit one last time. Surikov, we've got to give it to him. He has been outperformed by his teammate this season on the whole, but he is in 3rd place as we stand, and that is a damn good rear gunner, 2nd man position. Double podium potentially. He keeps dropping in and out, doesn't he? Is it just me, or does he keep vanishing and reappearing? He's trying to stealth in on us. He's trying to cheat. But here we go, we're coming round the final bend. The final bend. And Alessandro Cruz has led from start to finish. A great victory with Surikov bringing the car home in 3rd. What would have happened if Balcazar hadn't have gone off on the first corner? Well, if Lipponen couldn't pass Cruz, I don't think she would have. We won it on pace. Cruz could have done this in Singapore. He was in control of that race as well, but crashed out. Phoenix Knights have finished this season the stronger team. They've been getting pole positions. They've been winning races. They've been looking good on pace towards the back end of the season. They've done it in style. 3rd best car on the grid come the start of the season. I'm sure many people wrote them off before a wheel was turned, but they have broken the Scuderia Rossini Steinman deadlock for the first time since 2018, and we're in 2020 something now, aren't we? So yeah, there is a new team name on the trophy. And Potter can finally breathe easy. We've done it! We have done it! Lipponen won the Drivers' Championship, but not at a canter. It looks comfortable in the end, but what could have been? We were coming back. We were the stronger team at the back end of that season, and we closed that gap. Another 5 races to go. We could have ended up surpassing that. I'm telling you, we could have ended up surpassing him and doing the double. But never mind. It's all about the team performance. It's all about the constructors, and we are top of the tree. 37 points in the end. An absolutely sterling performance. Consistency was indeed the key. Whew. Well, there you have it, folks. The World Motorsport Championship trophy is going home with Potter. You can have your world champion. He's going to retire, I reckon. And if he doesn't retire, well, he'll be a fool, because next season he won't be winning it. I'm telling you that for certain. But this is a big one. The Constructors' Champions. Potter taking the glory. And loving every minute of it. Oh, brake spill. How lovely. Right. I was umming and I was ahhing about whether or not to continue on for one last season. If we did, in fact, win the Constructors' Championship. To try and do the double. Because I know it's a certainty that it's going to happen. We have a better car now. We have a better car next season than we did for this season. And considering where we finished this season, and particularly towards the back end of this season, there is almost certainty that I will be winning both championships next season. It will just be a case of turning up and doing the job. So I think that this is a nice place to leave the series. It's been a long one, but I have really, really enjoyed playing this game. It's been absolutely grueling at times, the ups and the downs, but yeah, we've got there. Perseverance is the key, and Potter has masterminded a team from the European Racing Series through to the top level, and then he's made them kick on season until they've reached the top. So what I will do is I will play out the season off camera, and I'll probably give you an update or two as to what's going on in a kind of an epilogue type video. So rather than playing out the full season, I'll probably just maybe give you an update at the halfway point and then an update at the end, and give you almost like a season review of the final season of Potter in charge, because no matter what happens, he's retiring at the end of the next season anyway. So I'll give you that final season in a bit of a season review. But yeah, I think now's a good place to end. So I hope you've enjoyed the series. Thank you for watching. I know it's been a long one, but I hope you've enjoyed it with me. And yeah, raise a glass wherever you may be to Potter. And as I said, in the next video, you'll see who is going to end up the driver champion. Because there was some debate about whether Surikov was going to stay on or going to be moved on. But you know what? Our car will be good enough to even put up with Surikov's crashing. Cruz and Surikov will go together one last time. But who will be champion? Will it be Cruz? Will it be Surikov? You'll find out in the epilogue video. Thanks for watching once again. And we'll see you soon.